Hey guys, it's BigfeetzGaming, and today I want to talk about 5 things I wish I'd known going into Grim Dawn. Recently I've returned to ARPGs, starting with Grim Dawn, and some of these I still didn't know even after my previous 100 hours with the game. My god, are some of these useful. Let's dive in and have a gander, shall we? First item on our list is mods, and more precisely 2 in particular. The first is called Grim Internals, which is an amazing quality of life mod, and there's a few main things that I use it for. Firstly, the mod allows you to place health bars above both yourself and enemy mobs, which, if you're coming from a game such as Path of Exile, in the downtime between leagues, then having this enabled is just an absolute godsend, and for me just makes the game that much more fun to play. Another reason is for the auto pickup for components and quest items, meaning more time killing and gathering epic loot with less time fanning about and picking up each individual component. It's just a great time saver and gets rid of one of the most tedious aspects of the game for me. And the final reason for Grim Internals, for me at least, is keeping count of the amount of mob types defeated and the types of items dropped. It's a small one, but it's nice to see when streaming how many legendaries I've got in a session, or how many bosses I've killed so far. There's still more you can do with Grim Internals, such as tracking your DPS, and I'll include a link in the description if you want to download it and give it a crack yourself. It's pretty easy to install. So the second mod is Grim Dawn Item Assistant. Once you start getting into Ultimate and set pieces and legendaries start dropping pretty frequently, you'll realise there really isn't a great way to store and sort them at the stash, as quite frankly it's pretty basic and you're going to run out of space eventually. GD Item Assistant helps with that, essentially saving the items you put into a set stash tab to a file where you can view, sort and remove them from the mod itself. No more limits on the stash size for storing gear, and it just makes life so much easier when looking at what you have available, with the ability to sort them in a variety of ways, such as by damage modifier, or bonuses to each mastery. For example, let's say I want to find a piece of gear with an Aether modifier on it for an Arcanist. Simply select both of those, and the mod does the work for me, showing me exactly what I have available, how many I have, its level, and allowing me to send it to my stash for pickup. Again, I'll leave a link to it in the description, and I would highly recommend picking up both Grim Internals and GD Item Assistant just for the pure quality of life improvements they provide. So second item on our list is components, and more specifically why you should be using them. If you're like me, you put off using components, and on my current character I started after returning to the game, I didn't use any till level 50. Kind of shot myself in the foot there. These can provide some pretty significant bonuses and are a great way to fill any resist holes you might have. Hell, the one on my shield even provides me with a short cooldown that busts my maximum resists and allows me to get pretty close to 100% elemental resist in some cases for a short period of time. So what I'm saying is, don't be a prat like me, grab some components and make use of them. You can always grab them back off the gear if you find an upgrade using the inventor, and then immediately slap them onto a new piece of gear. So, number 3 on our list kind of falls on from the last point, and just makes it easier to see what component can be used on your gear. If you hover over a piece of gear in Grim Dawn, it's going to highlight any components that you could have had slotted into said piece of gear. If you hold control while doing it, it even hides the tooltip for the item, so you can have a clear view of your inventory or stash. It's a small thing, but it's certainly helpful. Number 4 is something that every player should know. So you've just got, let's say, the Viper Devotion, for example, on your new character. Requires 1 crimson point to start it, and it gives you 3 blue and 2 crimson for completing it. That point you allocated at the start to be able to grab it can be removed at this point, freeing up a point towards your next devotion. Even further, you might find one of the bigger devotions now gives you enough points that you can respec some of the ones you used to unlock it, giving you more points overall to spend on the devotions you actually want. So, on the previous point you saw me using a web page to plan my devotion points. The website's called Grim Tools, and again I'll leave a link to it in the description. Grim Tools is an amazing website. It allows you to plan out builds with a great level of detail. Hell, you could completely plan out a build with its gear, mastery and devotion points all allocated. Alongside the build planner is a map allowing you to view the locations of shrines, bosses, and so much more. A checklist for devotion shrines, important quests, and one-shot chests. An amazing item database for monsters, pets, and items. The item one in particular is amazing for finding items that have modifiers to your masteries and seeing where you can get a hold of them. Again, I'll leave a link to anything mentioned down in the description, and as always, I'm still playing about with the formats on YouTube, so if you enjoyed this one or had any criticisms, I'd honestly love to hear them. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to check out some of the others on screen now. And I also stream live on Twitch every day except Wednesday and Thursday, a link to which can be found down below. Anyways, I'm BigfeetzGaming. Ciao for now.